brothers. We are on the way to go to the hardware store or Walmart, wherever you want to call it. I'm gonna get it at the cheapest place I can. I am here to talk to you guys about oil change prep. Because there's a lot of things that you need to consider when doing an oil change yourself. I'm going to explain this because I'm not sure that you guys are aware at how easy an oil change is, right? The hardest part about an oil change is actually getting up into the area where you need to remove the oil filter, right? Because the oil filter is never like wide out there, right? It's usually in a place where you have to get your hand up in there and, you know, twist it and get some good leverage. And the second hardest part, and this is going to be a challenge for a lot of you tall folks, oftentimes the car's clearance is not high enough for you to get underneath the car and get that plug, the oil plug, taken off, right? That's the hardest part. So what I recommend you do, and I'm going to explain this, and then I'm going to hopefully show you as I take this with me into the store. So I have a confession though. The store's coverage, cellular coverage, is not that great. There's a lot of dead spots in this place. Now, I don't think it was intentional. I think that when they built this building for this store, that it wasn't pleasant enough to be able to go get all these supplies, right? And I'm gonna go get my stuff at Walmart because it's cheaper there. But, so let's talk about a few things here, all right? Number one, you gotta make sure it's stable, right? You have to make sure your car is stable when you perform the work, okay? There are ways to do this. You can go out and spend $6,000 on a car lift. You can go out and spend about $150 in total to get a bunch of things to lift your car up. Now, I have what's called a rhino ramp. Basically, it's this plastic rubber type ramp that your car rides up onto, and it has a flat surface for your car to stay there. Now, there's no way to strap the tire down to the ramp, as the ramp is made of plastic, so it's just gonna move if you do that, right? In any slight thing. But there are rubber feet on the bottom of that ramp, so it's more likely not gonna move when you do all that. Alright, speaking of moving, you also need to ensure that your back wheels do not move, right? Because if you put it on a ramp on an incline, more than likely the gravity is going to make it move. All right, how you doing there? Thank you for joining. So that's number two to consider, right? So while we get it all propped up, okay, now we have to go have the proper tools, okay? So you're gonna need a socket wrench, and you're gonna need a couple of sockets, okay? Mine just happens to be, I think, a 15 or 17 millimeter to get that drain plug off, right? Now, let me kind of headway, you know, something for you here. Your drain plug is not going to be on extra loose, but your drain plug does not need to be like extremely tight, right? It should have enough torque on that nut that the vibration won't knock it off. At the same token, if you get it on there so tight you can't get it off, more than likely you're gonna strip it. You cannot strip it. Okay? So, if you need to, get what's called a breaker bar. Now, a breaker bar is a big ratchet that has leverage. Alright guys, because I'm moving, signal is not great. So let's go ahead and wait till we get closer and I'll explain the rest of this prep. But I went through some parts for you guys to consider. One last order of business before I really shut this down, right? Your oil needs to be correct. You don't want to get oil too thin, meaning too drippy, like water, but you also don't want it too thick, like molasses. It needs to be at a good consistency for you, right? Given the season and given the nature of what you're using your oil for, right? Now, if you look at your owner's manual, it will tell you. Also, if you're not aware, if you open your hood and you look at your engine oil cap, it will tell you what it needs, right? So, I don't want to lose signal here. I think I'm actually coming up on my turn here real quick. So, I will be right back, guys. We're going to go to the store, pick it out, and we'll show you what it looks like and all the tools you're going to need when we get back to where we're going to work on it, all right? Thank y'all so much for watching. It's Sean the ToGA brother, and I'm out.